Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. You've got Bert over here, and you're rolling with Lanny, the Dividend Diplomats. And Bert, we're talking about your favorite piece here.
Dividend increases.
Expected, baby.
Yeah, every month we try to talk about the dividend increases, some of the major ones that are going to be happening over the next 31 days in August, because we love dividend increases, you love dividend increases, everybody loves dividend increases. So get ready, everybody. We got 3 exciting companies to talk to you about. But oh, wait a second. If you haven't already, make sure you smash that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up, everybody. Thank you for your support over the last year. Let's talk dividends, baby.
All right, so Bert, like we do every month, we talk about the expected increases that's coming up here in the next month. Dividend investing's back. The stock market's on fire. Companies are crushing estimates. Pandemic-specific companies are doing very well. This video, we have how many dividend stocks that are going to increase that dividend?
Not 1, not 2, but 3 dividend companies that are on their regular schedule. They are going to do it in August. But what's been fun about dividend increases is you saw in our last video that featured 9 dividend increases in the last month of July.
9.
We do our best to predict every company that's going to increase a dividend, especially some of the higher profile dividend kings, dividend aristocrats, and other great dividend growth stocks. But man, in this environment that we are in, companies are coming out of left field. They're flying off the top rope. They are sprinting in at the end of the match. The entrance music is just flying in.
You think there are 30 people in the Royal Rumble, but that 31st entrant is coming in.
Yeah, there have been a lot of companies off schedule announcing dividend increases too. So we can't get them in this video, so we're going to hit the ones that we know are going to are scheduled to.
So we're going to dive in right now to the 3 dividend stocks that will be increasing your dividend here in August. So Bert, this first dividend stock that we're going to talk about is not just a dividend aristocrat.
No, they are a dividend king.
Over 50 years.
Yep, 50 plus consecutive years of increasing their dividend. It is fantastic. They have increased their dividend through the financial crisis, the pandemic. How could I skip that one? The tech bubble. The S&L crisis in the 80s, the oil crisis in the 70s. That's why we love dividend kings. Through good times and bad, these dividend growth stocks have shown that they can grow their earnings and grow their dividend despite what's going on around them.
So we're talking about the first stock, which is Illinois Tool Works, ticker symbol ITW. You may not have heard of them. They're based in Illinois. They're really in that industrial manufacturing space. They've gone up actually over 22% in the past year. Currently trading at $227 per share, but they are expected to increase their dividend this month in August.
Their 5-year average dividend growth rate is 15.99%. So we are expecting the company to have a pretty solid dividend increase because they have demonstrated their ability to increase that dividend, not by a small amount, but by a large amount going forward.
During the pandemic, they increased it, back on August 7th of 2020. They went from $1.07 to $1.14, just under 7%. So Bert, given that they're at $1.14 with a current payout ratio below 60%, what do you think ITW is going to do here?
Well, I think they are going to announce another pretty high single-digit increase. One of their main competitors is 3M, ticker symbol MMM. It's one of my favorite stocks that I wrote about a long time ago. They're on my always file list. But I've been a little disappointed with 3M's
Scotch tape under his pillow.
I do. I always have it. You never know when you're going to need it. But the company 3M did not announce a great dividend increase this last year. They've been lagging on the dividend growth front. ITW is a different company, but they're in the same sector. So to me, I don't know if this is going to be a company that's going to announce a dividend increase above that 15.99% 5-year average. I think it'll be closer to that 6 to 10% range. What about you?
Yeah, I think it's going to be 6 cents, going from $1.14 to $1.20.
Perfect. And I mean, with that perfect dividend payout ratio, I just wanted to run it quickly through our stock screener, see if this company is even an undervalued dividend stock for us to consider buying.
What's that price to earnings ratio?
26.6. Their payout ratio is nice, and they have that nice dividend history, but they are not a cheap stock right now. So I am not going to be adding them to my watch list based on their current valuation.
Yeah, they're currently yielding just at about 2%. So, again, probably not one on the watch list, but one to keep an eye on in case their stock price drops, so I don't know, $30.
Yeah, so just to summarize this first company, ITW, Lanny's expecting a nice increase. I'm expecting a 6 to 10% increase. We're in the same ballpark. Let's see what they deliver. It's going to be at the beginning of the month, so everybody, we're going to know the answer to this one pretty soon.
So now we talked about one dividend king. How about we talk about two dividend kings, Bert?
Yeah, this company is Dover Corporation, ticker symbol DOV.
DOV, Dover Corp, baby. 65 plus years of increasing their dividend. You know, currently trading at almost like $170 per share. You know, Dover's also had a pretty big run up in their share price, if I'm not mistaken. You know, over the last year, you know, Dover Corp is actually up over 62% in share price.
Insanity.
Yeah, in the last 52 weeks. I mean, they've, again, every time I look at them, I'm like, oh, they're up. I mean, year to date, they're up 35%.
And that's why we like going through these lists. We like looking at dividend kings and dividend aristocrats. They are great companies that continue to deliver great results. You may not have heard of Dover Corporation because they're not a consumer. I know where you're going with that. But the business world, they have a huge part in manufacturing of equipment, machinery. They are everywhere. They're helping produce the stuff that you are seeing on the front end. They're just not consumer facing.
Yeah,
But
your trucks, your machines, your cars, vehicles.
yeah, they have a heavy part in all of it, and that's why they've been able to increase that dividend for over 60 consecutive years, because their ability to innovate and grow.
Now again, you know, last year's increase was only 1%. 5-year average is only 3.36%. Bert, what are we expecting from a dividend growth for Dover?
I'm just going to say probably 3% in line. I don't know, maybe 3 to 5% is the range I'll give for this one.
Pretty good.
Higher than last year because they're crushing it, but their average is showing that they are not a strong dividend growth company despite their low yield of 1.2%.
You know, I'm actually going to go with another 1% increase.
There it is.
Taking a little chapter from 3M.
Yeah.
Your favorite dividend king.
Not my favorite anymore. They're a great company though. Not to rain on 3M's parade.
But what does Dover Corp stock metrics look like from the screener? Are they a stock to add at all?
We are not going to be adding them to the watch list. Their PE ratio is also high. They're at 23.9 at their current share price of 167.12.
But do they make it up for in the yield with the low growth?
No, 1.2%. So low dividend growth, low dividend yield, even though they have a nice payout ratio and a strong dividend growth history. That's not the combination we want to see to add them to our watch list.
Got it. So there you go, Dover. We are expecting low increase here for Dover. They'll increase the streak. Again, ticker symbol's DOV, $167 per share. Not something we'll add to the watch list, but again, you know, long-term dividend growth pair.
Yeah, we're moving out of the dividend king list for the last one on here. This is a very highly publicized dividend stock. It's a
sin stock.
It is a sin stock, but a lot of dividend investors own it, so it's something we need to feature, we need to cover, and it's one that's going to garner a lot of attention from the broader community out there. This company is Altria Group, ticker symbol MO.
You got to have Mo.
Yeah, you got Mo dividends.
Mo dividends,
Mo problems.
Money, you get Mo problems.
Yeah, they typically announce their dividend in August, but over the last few years, they've sometimes snuck it in at the end of July. They didn't this year, so that means we're going to get a dividend increase announcement at some point in August. What was their last year's dividend increase, Lanny?
Last year's dividend increase was a paltry 2.4%, a little bit better than Dover, but only 2.4%. And you have to kind of think about, they had poor investments in Juul, you know, so they're probably kind of tight on the cash flow from that standpoint. Last 52 weeks, Altria, ticker symbol MO, is up over 16% in the past 52 weeks. Year to date, they're up 17%. So not flat at all, actually. A stock that kind of is, again, in this little unusual space here because it's investors love it because of their sweltering yield of over 7%. Plus, if you get that nominal dividend growth, it's kind of a great dividend income stock to have.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I know what you mentioned earlier that they've made some poor investments in Juul and they're working on their cash flow. One of the big announcements, Lanny, that you were telling me about before we started filming this video was They're divesting out of some of their wine businesses too to help focus on their
$1.2 billion.
Wow, that's what it was. So that's a huge amount. So they're focusing on their core of tobacco and tobacco-less products. That's where they want to move into the future. They're shedding out a lot of the fat that was on their balance sheet and in their brand portfolios that may not be a part of their core strategic focus going forward.
So currently, they pay 86 cents per share per quarter, again, yielding over 7%. A few dividend stock metrics, they're at a 74 to 75% payout ratio. Price to earnings is fairly low at below 11. Again, they have a history of increasing their dividend of over 11 years, aka since their spinoff for Altria Group, again, ticker symbol MO. So Bert, with those stats, first, what do you think the dividend increase is going to be?
Well, I think what I've seen with a lot of companies, and not we've seen it in a lot of other investors, when companies are trying to figure out their balance sheet, they're trying to figure out where they want to go, they're selling off things, they're not just going to start layering on massive dividend increases on top of it. I know, Lanny. But last year they announced a 2.4% increase, so I'm just going to say probably in that range. I'll say 2 to 3%, maybe 4% if we're feeling lucky. What are you thinking?
They did 2 cents last year. I say they do 2 cents this year, going from 86 to 88 at a 2.3% increase.
Yeah, so I mean, it'll take a few years before they return to strong dividend growth, which they had in the past when things were running hot before they made the Juul investment.
Here's the question: are you buying the stock?
No, I think I'm just going to keep them on my watch list for now. What about you?
Same. But do you have them on your stock watch list? Do you guys own and/or are buying Altria stock for the yield or for the value?
Let us know.
Let us know.
So to summarize, the 3 big stocks that are set to announce dividend increases: Illinois Toolwork, ticker symbol ITW.
Dover Corp.
Yeah, DOV. And then last, but definitely not least, Altria Group, ticker symbol MO.
Yep, so out of all 3, how many do you own? I actually currently own only 1 out of the 3.
Same, ITW.
Dividend kings all day.
33% though, just like in the dividend increase video that we just put out.
1 for 3. Hey, in baseball, you're a Hall of Famer. But how many do you own? Let us know in the comments. Which stocks are you buying or adding to the watch list? Again, 3 dividend growth stocks. We'll see if maybe, hey, I hope that they exceed our expectations. I hope that we're wrong in this video. I know I'm a little bit more on the pessimistic side on the dividend increases for all 3 of these companies, so I hope they prove me wrong.
Let's do it. Let's prove Lanny wrong. It's a lot of fun when you can actually pull it off. So everybody, thank you again. Subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up if you haven't already on this video.
That was Bert, and this is Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats.
Over and out.